Good morning, my name's Andy Rowe and this is trendfollower.co.uk. It's Saturday the 24th of January 2015. This is the week that quantitative easing was announced in Europe, and that's had an effect on some of my open positions, which you'll see a little bit later. So I'm going to, in this video, just run through my open positions and see how they're doing. And I'm going to start with Amara Mining, which you can see where I bought it back in the summer of last year, and it went up and it went down and then it started to go up again, and then this last week it came back down again, but that's fine. You know, these things go up and down. You can see where my stop is. It's quite far away from the current position, so I don't mind if it goes up and down a bit in the short term. Obviously what I'm looking for is to see this go up. You can see the massive decline in the value of Amara Mining's stock price, and so I see this still as representing good value, and I'm hoping that this ultimately will do very well for me. So a little bit of up and down in the short term is fine. BTG, this is a pharmaceutical company. Again, you can see where I bought it. Hasn't really done very much, to be honest. Up, down, but no real massive variation from the current price. So you can see, looking at the larger graph, how it came down a lot, went along, and it's been gradually rising. So I'm hoping to go on an upward elevator with BTG, and I think at some stage it'll break out of this consolidation and hopefully move up rather than down, but we shall see. Sugar. Now I bought sugar back here, and that seemed to be the kiss of death to the price of sugar, as some of my speculations seemed to be, and it went down, but then it went up, and I had a couple of very good weeks, and the price of my or the value of my sugar position got back to opening, and rather better than that. In fact, this week had been a very good week for it. You can see the tail on this candle where the price had gone right up, significantly above my entry price, but then came down again. So now it's at about break even, and this kind of candle always fills me a little bit with concern when I'm on a long position, because it suggests that the upward movement of the price has been depressed at some stage during the week, and it's been resisted from going much further, and so the price has come back down again. So we shall see what happens next week. Wheat, again, as it popped up above the 50 MA back here, I saw this as a good point to buy wheat, hopefully a sign that it was on the turn and going up. You can see how much wheat has fallen down over the years in pricing. At one stage it was up at around $700. You know, now it's sorry, $7. This is cents, this price. So it's now 107 cents as opposed to 700 cents. So it's you know, a seventh of the price that it was back in 2008. So you know, quite a while ago, admittedly, but the prices of wheat have ultimately been falling. I see this at some stage as turning around, and you know, every time it comes up through the 50 MA, I start to get excited. But it's come back down again. Although this week it's gone up slightly. So my stop's down here. You know, will it go down and hit the stop, or is this the bottom of the grind of wheat? I don't know. This really was a turnaround play, not really a trend trade, to be honest. So shouldn't really be part of this portfolio, but was done on a little bit of a whim. Now Fresnillo, this is the world's largest silver miner, and a couple of weeks ago the price of Fresnillo, which is a FTSE 350 company, by the way, listed in the UK, the price of Fresnillo came up through its 50 MA. So 50 MA is the average price that the share has made over the past year, and you can see this green line representing that has been falling, and there's been a couple of occasions where Fresnillo has come up through the 50 MA, and in fact back in the autumn or late summer, early autumn, the price came up here, but then fell back down again. Now, interestingly, if it was trending downwards, you'd expect that the next low ultimately to be below a low earlier here, which it wasn't. So to me, this was a sign possibly of there being, you know, some support down in this region. So I've set my stop loss position down here, and when Fresnillo came up through the 50 MA a couple of weeks ago, that caught my eye, and so last week Fresnillo was the position that I added to my portfolio, and I set the stop loss down here. This week the price of the Fresnillo share has gone up. It's come down a little bit, but overall it's up on the week. So I think my trade is in profit, so already, which is great. If I open the price graph up, you can see that it kind of looks a little bit like the price of the or the graph of the price of gold. So Fresnillo is obviously, being a silver miner, its value is very much represented by the value of precious metals, and generally speaking, miners of precious metals tend to do worse than the value of precious metals when things are falling, and they do better than the value of precious metals when things are rising. So I'm hoping that this is the beginning of the rise. So we'll see. So anyway, it's doing okay. Grainger is a massive landlord in the UK. They own lots of property, and you can see that their share price has been falling, and I went short Grainger, so I sold to open, hoping to capitalise on the share price of Grainger going down further, and really it hasn't done loads over the past few weeks. This week it's gone up a bit. Now this may be that the quantitative easing announcement in Europe has had a bit of a positive effect on confidence, and people are maybe thinking that property is going to be a good thing to be in still. If that's the case, and property values go up, and the value of the Grainger share price rises, then I'm going to be out. You can see where my stop is. We'll see. So there we go. Not such a good week for my Grainger position. Now, interestingly, I was expecting my Netherlands index trade to go the wrong way, because again, I had sold the Netherlands ETF to open. In other words, I was expecting the price, the value of this ETF to go down with the passage of time over the next few months. But quantitative easing generally would drive things the other way. So I would expect the value of this ETF to rise in the light of the QE announcement, but it hasn't. It's fallen. Why is that? I have no idea. I'm surprised. Maybe people really think that things in Holland are very bad economically. So that's a possibility. I don't know. But I mean, from my own selfish point of view, I'm happy that's happening. And my stop's up here. We'll just see what happens. So there we go. Now, Man Group. This is a financial services company. You can see where I went long Man Group. Their share price was rising, so this was trending upwards with a series of higher highs and a series of higher lows, and it made a new high here, and I opened a position here. Classic technique, and it's continued to rise. Things that continue rising generally will continue to rise. Until they don't, of course. And so my stop loss was originally below the MA50, but a couple of weeks ago I moved it to break even because things had done so well, and I will keep it there for the time being. This week's done very well. Gone from 160 or so up to 175. So that's £1.60 up to £1.75. So that's a nice little increase in the value of my Man Group position. So hope that continues. Rightmove. Okay, so I went short Rightmove. I've done this a couple of times in the past and gone back to break even and got stopped out. I went short Rightmove, I think 2 weeks ago, when its price went down through the MA20. This week the price of the Rightmove share has come up through the 50 MA. My stop is up here. Now my question now to myself is, do I close this position because it's gone up through the 50 MA, or do I wait for it to hit this position here? If it goes up into this no man's land area and then comes back down again, then that will be good for me if I keep the position running. But obviously, if the value of the Rightmove share creeps upwards over the next few months, then it's all going to go badly wrong. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this. I need to reflect on that and write about it in a blog post, I think. Telestity's done well, so I went long Telecity as it made a new high here. It sank back down and I was getting very despondent about it. My stop was down here with the MA50. It's gone up, so that's good. If I open the graph up, you can see big move up, move down. I'm hoping for another move up again. May or may not happen, but I'll just follow it either way. So I'm going to use the MA50 as my stop here, I think. No reason not to do that, I don't think. So I'll just stick with it. So I shall move the stop up a little bit this week and just ratchet in a little bit more potential profit. The TR European Growth Trust, again, I had shorted this back here when things were going south for TRG, and you can see where my stop loss originally was. Here's the MA50. When it had done very well for me, obviously when the price goes down, this is good for me if I've gone short. I could see the price was coming back up again, and I decided to move my stop loss to break even because I didn't want the trade to lose me money, and I was hoping that it would go down further. But of course, quantitative easing announcements have made European stocks attractive, which of course makes TRG an attractive exchange traded fund to own, and so the value of it has popped up. It's gone through my stop loss, and this position is now closed automatically. I mean, I won't have closed it actively. My stop loss will have been triggered and the position will be closed, and for no loss, it must be said, which is this is a nice safe way to trade. If things work well, that's great. If they don't, they don't. Okay, it's great not to lose money on a trade that doesn't work. Now, I guess the thing is, if the price comes down again over the next week or two and then falls away further, of course I'll be gutted because this was looking like a really nice setup. And interestingly, the markets essentially are being manipulated by the politicians. And so, the market was driving the value downwards. The QE announcement is a is a manipulation of the market. This isn't a free market that we're dealing with here. This is political meddling, to be honest. They think they're doing wonderful things, but maybe prices should just be left to find their level. Maybe ultimately that's what will sort an economy out. I don't know. I'm not an economist, but not completely convinced that QE processes are the way to go. Maybe things that are doing badly need to be hacked away until they're gone, and one needs to rebuild rather than keep the old order going. I don't know. So we're getting very political, this discussion. It's not a discussion, it's a monologue. Victoria Oil and Gas. This is an oil and gas producer, of course, and this week it's gone up a little bit, which is great. My stop's down here. It's all over the place, essentially. You can see how at one point the price of the share was £100. Now it's 60p. If the price of oil rises again, then I hope this will do really well. But we'll see what happens. Wincanton. So Wincanton's doing nicely. I bought it here as it was sort of rising gently, and it rose and then went sideways, and this week it rose again. So that's great. So I'm just going to use the MA50 to track up behind and ratchet in the profits. At the moment, it's kind of not far off a break-even stop loss. So if I open the graph up, you can see that at one stage the share price was £4, and it fell and rose and fell right down to about 30p or something, and now it's up at about £1.70. So anyone that bought here on a moving average cross would have done very nicely. So didn't include me, unfortunately, but who knows, if I buy here and it keeps going up, I'll be happy, of course. So that's Wincanton, the transport company. So that's doing well. So in summary, ups and downs really. So some of my positions have done well. Wincanton's done well. What else is doing? Man Group is doing very well. That's great. My Dutch position's doing surprisingly well considering QE. My TRG position is closed for no loss, which is great. My Fresnillo move of last week has done well. So I guess considering political meddling, it's okay. What I'm going to do now is have a little look through ShareScope and see if I can come up with another trade for this coming week. So I'll write about that in the blog. And anyway, hope you enjoyed that and have a great week. And I shall catch up with you next weekend. Okay, cheers.